Hi everyone, I'm back and I have some big news. That's really cool. I honestly don't really know how to start this video, where to start this video. There's a bunch of little things that I want to talk to you about and some big things, some big changes. So yeah, I just wanted to sit down and film a little life update video for you today, just to tell you like what's been going on in my life, what's going to happen for the months to come, and yeah, some exciting things, some kind of sad things that also happened. So thank you so much for being here, for being interested. I recommend grabbing yourself a nice drink. I got myself some tea. This is lemon verbena. I poured it not so full today because I keep getting comments from people saying like I always pour my tea like really full, like, up to here. And then people get stressed watching my videos because they're always like watching if it doesn't spill because I'm like all over the place moving my glass. So, you know, can't say I don't make an effort for you. I poured it to here, so the tea is safe. Grab yourself something nice too if you want. So how have you been? Let me know in the comment section. How was your March? I took March off from YouTube. If you didn't know, I wasn't here. I took a break and it was a weird break. It actually wasn't much of a break, to be honest. And I'm gonna tell you all about everything that happened. But yeah, it wasn't like a restorative break that I had hoped for. Lots of things were going on actually. And that's the thing with life, you know, sometimes things happen, you make plans and then stuff happens and things change and you just gotta roll with it, and that's what I try to do as best I can. I did have last week, the last week of March, was a little bit slower, everything was settled down a little bit more, and I actually did get a chance to rest and recover a little bit. I read some books. Well, I didn't go outside that much because March, basically 90% of March here in the Netherlands was rain. But I did read some books. I finally got around to reading Circe. I had so much fun with that book. I read Breasts and Eggs during my break from Mieko Kawakami, also a great book. I read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, which left me very confused as to why everyone loves that book so much, because to be honest, I didn't really enjoy it that much. Unpopular opinion maybe. Let's see, I read Moshi Moshi from Banana Yoshimoto. I loved it. I also loved her other novel, Kitchen. Moshi Moshi was, I think, even better. And right now I am reading Strange Weather in Tokyo, which I am liking, not loving, but liking so far. So, where to begin this video? Some things happened during March. One really good thing, which was very scary good thing. Also some not so great things. Should I do the good thing first or the bad things first? Okay, let's just start with the good news. My boyfriend and I bought an apartment. As I'm saying these words out loud, I still cannot really believe that it happened, that it finally worked out. We have been wanting to move for many years now, for various reasons. I'm not sure like how much in depth I want to go with this video in the whole house thing, because I don't want to make the video too long. But yeah, we bought an apartment finally, and I am just so grateful. I'm so excited, and we will actually move there pretty soon, somewhere in May already. So we've lived here for 10 years in this is a rental apartment, and I've had the best time here. I'm very grateful for the fact that we found it when we did, because we've been living here rather like, our rent has always been rather reasonable considering the housing market right now in the Netherlands these last couple of years. It's absolutely bonkers. It's so hard to find affordable housing nowadays, and our rent is still pretty reasonable here considering the fact that all the other rents just went up like crazy. So I'm very grateful that we have been able to live here for 10 years. That said, there have also definitely been reasons that we have been wanting to move for a while now, and with the market being like it was, we just couldn't make it work. We couldn't find anywhere else that we could afford to move to unless it was like way smaller and way less like pretty than this place, in which case it wouldn't really make sense to move. So for the last couple of years, I felt like I felt a little stuck, even like a little bit stagnant. Like I wanted to move forward, and I wanted, I was ready for a change in life and in our housing situation, but it just couldn't really get it off the ground. And so every time I got my hopes up and we really tried, and then things didn't work out, and then I got back to a feeling of, you know what, I'm just going to make the most of it here, be grateful for the fact that we have such a nice place to live, and we'll go from there. And that's what it's been like for the last couple of years. And this time it worked out. Like I said, I don't really know how much more in depth I want to go in this video, but the biggest reason that we wanted to move is simply the neighborhood that we are living in now. It's just not the best. Let's say that there's a reason that this place is as pretty as it is and also still affordable. It's not the best. There are some shady things going on in the neighborhood. I don't always feel safe. And it's always there's garbage, always everywhere garbage. If we walk down the street here, there's lots of buildings that are empty or abandoned, and there's the windows thrown in and stuff. It's not the best neighborhood. It's definitely also not the worst. I've never actually felt really in danger or anything, but it's not the kind of neighborhood where I would want to go outside when it's dark or things like that. It's also extremely noisy right where we are, because we live above a few shops that are open until late at night, and there's actually quite a few customers coming here. So we always have lots of traffic noise, people coming in with scooters, but also, drunk people fighting. We've had a guy being arrested a couple weeks ago. There's always something going on here, and it's just not the best neighborhood to live in. And after 10 years, I just really want to move somewhere quieter. That's the biggest reason. And there are more reasons. There's also not just noise pollution, but there's a smell pollution. I don't really know how you call that. The way that the building is a little bit annoying, because the front door that opens up to the street, it doesn't really close properly, and we live with more people here in the building, so we always have to make sure that they're closing the door that opens out onto the street. And then sometimes they might leave it open, so my boyfriend has to walk down the stairs a couple times a day, especially at nighttime, just to check if the door is properly closed, because otherwise people can just walk in here. And tons more reasons. This is a one-bedroom apartment, which is fine because it's just the two of us. But ever since we both started working from home, we have had a dream of having a place with an extra bedroom that we can turn into a home office, so that my boyfriend doesn't have to work in the bedroom as he is right now, because I'm filming right here. So little things like that too. And right before the break started, we had an appointment to go look at a place, and we were very, very lucky with this one. The timing was right. Everything was right. The whole vibe of the new apartment feels right. It immediately felt like our home. And I'm always the kind of person, I like to follow my gut. I like to follow my intuition. There were also apartments that we looked at where I entered, and I was very excited about the apartments on the listings, but when I entered the house, it just didn't feel right. It made me sigh, and not in a good way. So I like to listen to those little signs also. But this place, it had the right vibe, and I immediately could see us living there, and we were very lucky, and we got it. The reason we tried again is that the housing market has improved just a little bit for the buyers. It's not as crazy as it was last year, when we really couldn't even get an appointment to go and look at a place. But still, this was very competitive, this apartment. There were lots of people interested. We had to move quickly, and that was extremely scary for me. So as much as I'm so excited to tell you that we found our new home and that we will be moving there in May, of course you will all see it when we move, and I'm so excited about it. At the same time, the whole process of buying the place and, placing your bid and seeing if they accept it, and, the whole mortgage stuff and all the paperwork, it was extremely stressful for me. It was very scary to make such a huge decision. And yeah, the whole thing just like, I don't really know how people do that normally. Like right now I can laugh about it because it's been like a while, and I'm finally getting a sense of, you know, it worked, and I can relax now and I can look forward to it, and I don't have to stress so much. But in the beginning, the first like 3 weeks or so of having everything, you know, like jumping through like 100 hoops to get the place actually, and all the paperwork and stuff, I was honestly, like, my anxiety was through the roof. It was not fun. I did not have a fun time. And I don't want to sound ungrateful or anything, because I'm so grateful. But there were times when I honestly was panicking, like in the middle of the night, a random thought popped up in my head, like a random fear, and I would be struck by this huge, like, crippling anxiety and panic, and not being able to sleep for the whole night, and like feeling it in your stomach, like this huge, like, crushing weight. I felt very anxious about it all, and it wasn't fun. So honestly, I don't know if I'll ever do it again. I think I'm just gonna move there and keep living there for the rest of my life. I'll tell you a little bit about the place, just so you can get kind of like an idea of what it's about. It is an apartment, like this one, but it's in like a huge apartment building complex, however you want to call it. And it has 3 bedrooms, but like it's a little bit smaller than this place in total, even though this is a 1 bedroom, but this one has 3 bedrooms. So I really like that, because right now what we have here is kind of like this huge open space, which is the living room and the dining room kitchen area. And then upstairs, it's spread out over 2 floors. Upstairs we have another big space, which is the bedroom and a bathroom. So there's like this 2 huge open spaces, and I really liked that when we first moved in here. But right now I'm just looking forward to like little tiny cozy rooms, if you know what I mean. Maybe I've been watching too much Little Simsy on YouTube. If you know, you know. But she always builds houses with like tiny rooms, and I kind of agree with her now. I think it's much cozier. We will have a living area where also the dining dining situation will be. Then we will have a bedroom, an office, and a small, like tiny room for storage. So I'm really excited, and the place is already like finished. All we have to do is hang up like new curtains and a few new lights and stuff, and bring our stuff there, and we're good to go. The kitchen has been recently renovated. It is small but gorgeous. The bathroom has been recently renovated, quite spacious actually, and also, well, it's very pretty. It's just not really like the kind of bathroom that I maybe would have picked myself, but I'm still very happy with it. It looks very nice and clean and fresh and new. And then there's also a balcony, which is actually quite spacious also. So we will have our own balcony where we can sip tea and coffee and read books and enjoy the sunshine and the view. Yeah, and yeah, like I said, we will be moving in there sometime in May, so that's already like super fast. So I wanted to let you all know, because, you know, the space that you're seeing now, it's gonna change. And most of the furniture we're gonna bring with us, but some of it, unfortunately, we do have to replace because of several reasons, like it doesn't fit in a new space in terms of size or in terms of color and style. It's just a really different kind of vibe there. Different colors, much better in my opinion. So I do want to change some little things here and there. Like, I want to live there for a long time, so I want to really make the space my own. So some things I will have to replace. Other things are literally too big to move out of this apartment. Because when we moved in here, this was our first apartment, so we bought all the furniture like at IKEA and stuff, and it got up the stairs pretty easily in, you know, disassembled boxes. But this building doesn't have an elevator. We only have like a really steep, narrow, windy stairs. Like this couch could barely fit up the stairs. We had a lot of trouble with it actually. So most of the furniture we will have to move through the window. So we have to rent one of those little like you know, moving elevators basically. And some things are too big to move through the window. They're too big to move through the staircase. So there's that also, but most of the furniture we'll be able to take with us. And also I want to be mindful of the whole minimalism thing. It's very tempting for me because I love home decorating, I love furniture, I love accessories. It's really like my thing. Clothing doesn't really interest me that much, but home deco, I love it. So I want to be mindful not to buy too many things I don't need, and also be careful not to buy too much storage space, too many little furniture pieces, because, you know, I don't want furniture pieces that we just don't have stuff to put in them, if you know what I mean. So I want to be mindful of that as well. So that was the good news. Hopefully it gives you an idea and also a bit of context as to why I was so stressed. Some people take these things very lightly and they seem not to really get bothered by it, but honestly I was so anxious. It wasn't fun. And then there was more stuff going on this last month. My mom was actually very sick. She was hospitalized for 5 weeks for the whole month of March. She was in the hospital. I'm not going to go into detail about the whole thing. If you've been around for a while, maybe you know a bit more about her medical history and stuff. It's been very stressful for many years for us. She was very close to dying. At a certain point, she got a surgery that saved her life, a double lung transplant, and she was doing fine now, but there was something else and they needed to do surgery, and she got so many complications and you know, things popping up in her body that she needed 2 more surgeries that gave her more complications, and the whole thing was of course very stressful, very worrying. She was in a lot of pain, so it was very hard for us to see her suffering. And luckily she's back home now. She's doing much better. She's very strong, so and she can handle so much. Like, she's a very strong person, and no matter what life throws at her, I feel like she'll be able to conquer it. So I'm very happy that she's feeling a bit better. She's at home right now, but she still needs to rest a lot. She still needs to recover a lot, and there are still complications that we are not sure if they will ever be fixed. So that's a little scary, of course, but it's much better. But I mean, obviously you get that was a lot of extra stress for me, for everyone. So that wasn't really fun either. And then there was more because I also had a little health scare myself this last month. I got everything checked out. It turns out I'm fine, thankfully. Very good news, but also a little bit stressful. I don't know if you know this about me, you might not, but I am a bit of I have a medical anxiety. I don't like going to the doctor, the dentist, the hospital. I don't like needles. I don't like anything with the whole thing. So even though the exams that I had to do were not that invasive at all, it was still very scary for me, and it just cost me a lot of energy. And every time I had to go somewhere like the dentist or the dental hygienist or the hospital or the doctor, it took me the whole day to kind of you know, breathe and center. So I got my blood work tested, I'm fine. I got a pap smear, I'm fine, which is very good news because 5 years ago I actually didn't have a good result for that, and I had to get a procedure done. So right now I have to get it checked every year, and every year when the pap smear comes back negative, it's a big relief. I also got some ultrasounds done, I got some x-rays done, and they were all fine as well. So, and then I also had the dentist and a dental hygienist who likes to torture me. But it's good. It's good to have access to dental care. So I'm grateful for it, but it's just, I really don't like that stuff, and I've never liked it. So it was a little scary. And obviously if you're also worried about your health and a doctor is like, you should get some tests done, it's a little scary too. So, you know, sometimes nothing happens, and sometimes everything happens all at once, and you just gotta deal with it. And it's also just strange to both be extremely worried about different things and have your anxiety levels peak to the highest they've ever been. And then also be extremely happy and grateful that you were able to buy an apartment. You know, it's all these conflicting emotions. They had their way with me. Let's just say I had so many opportunities to practice what I preach. So I tried my best to take good care of myself. I tried my best to stay mindful, to meditate, just really listening and responding to what I needed. And I do believe that having a practice like that really does help. And then fun little addition to that as well is that we had 4 days together, my boyfriend and I, in Madrid. We booked it like, I don't know when we did that, like maybe December or January or something, when I had no idea that any of this would happen. Do you hear that? That's what I mean. And so everything felt like it was in turmoil, but we also had that trip planned. So we went and it was amazing. I was still extremely anxious about everything, so it was very hard for me to really relax and enjoy my time there. But at the same time, I did really enjoy my time there. It was a really wonderful trip. Madrid is an amazing city, so pretty, so beautiful. The people were very nice. There was lots of vegan food to be found there, which actually surprised me. It was just a really great trip, and I actually cannot wait to go back to Madrid sometime when I'm feeling a little bit more relaxed, so that I can, you know, enjoy it to the fullest. But we had an amazing time. We walked all day, every day, because no matter where in Madrid you're walking, like every street is gorgeous and beautiful, and it really felt like an adventure that the two of us had. We haven't traveled anywhere since 2018, so it's been a while for us. You know, being a highly sensitive person, I got a few questions from some of you asking me, like, how do you deal with travel as a sensitive person? And, you know, all I can say is, it was exhausting. It's exhausting, you know, there's really not much you can do about that. I knew that going into it. I knew I was going to be tired. And I just tried to take good care. I tried to, you know, go back to the hotel at least once a day for like 2 hours so that we could like rest and then go out again. But the whole thing, like, I felt exhausted basically all day, every day. Either I was very hungry because we had to walk to find a vegan restaurant, and sometimes we got lost. So sometimes it took a while for us to find somewhere we could eat. And then I felt like super full because, you know, you finally find some nice vegan food and I'm eating like there's no tomorrow. And then I feel like super full for the rest of the day. So it's things like that. As a sensitive person, these things hit you much harder. I was also like just super tired from the flight and everything. Sometimes we were like really cold because I didn't bring the right jacket. Sometimes I was a little hot. We walked for ages, so that was a little bit tiring. Having to pee in like really gross public restrooms, or you know, everything was just, it was a lot. But I had an amazing time. It was an amazing city. I really enjoyed also the Del Prado Museum. There were a few pieces there that I've been wanting to see for a long time, so I was very happy and grateful to be able to do that. Really like soaking in the art and the experience. It was very nice. So definitely that's a city that I will be going back to maybe even next year, I don't know. I'm excited for this year so far. Like I said earlier, I've been feeling a little bit stuck or stagnant these last 2 years, really wanting to make changes and just life not really budging. And now it feels like everything is changing and everything is in constant flux, and there's like so much going on outside of my control, inside of my control. Like everything feels different, and I'm ready for it, I think. It's a lot to deal with, and especially as a sensitive person, but I think this goes for anyone. I mean, your home, where you live, it's so important. It's such an important decision. And, you know, I need a place where I can feel like I can be comfortable and rest and really like feel at peace in the world. And so my living situation is just very important to me. So I'm very grateful that we were able to find something. Of course, like we've only been there once for 20 minutes. So I hope we made the right decision. You never know. But I'm guessing that, you know, if I follow my gut feeling, usually it doesn't lead me astray. So I have a good feeling about it. So for the coming months, of course, we're going to be busy planning the move. Luckily, we've done a lot of decluttering, so I really don't feel like I need to do a lot of decluttering. I think I can just pack up everything and go. So that's a good thing. As we're moving through the weeks, I am going to try my best to make as many videos as I can on YouTube and on Patreon. But I can't make any promises as to when those videos will go up, if I can make my normal uploading schedule every Saturday or not. I think it's probably going to be a little bit less consistent the coming months, but please know that I'm working as hard as I can, but I'll also need to take myself into account because, like I said, this last month, I'm very grateful that I happened to have planned my break, because if I also had my regular workload on top of everything else, I don't know how I really would have managed. At the same time, it wasn't like a restorative break. So I'm still feeling a bit frazzled, I'm still feeling a bit tired and a little bit like, I don't know, raw or sore, like emotionally hungover from everything. So I'm gonna work hard to try and find balance between making as much content as I can, because I'm really looking forward to making videos again. At the same time, also, taking care of myself and taking enough rest. I also have some sponsored videos coming up, so those are gonna bring a bit more structure to my schedule, because for the sponsored videos, you usually have a publishing date that you agreed with the sponsor. So I'm gonna do my best to bring you as many good, high quality videos as I can. But if I might miss an upload here or there, then at least you know why that is. That's because I'm just planning to move and everything else. Oh, I almost forgot something huge that I also wanted to say. During my break, the channel Simple Happy Zen reached 200,000 subscribers. Typical that it had to happen during my break. I've been looking forward to it for a long time now. It's so wonderful to see all these people having at least like watched one of my videos and clicked subscribe, so that they liked them enough to want to see more. I think that is so special. I've never been one for the numbers. As you might know, it's not really like my biggest motivation to hit like 1 million subscribers or anything. I love our community. It still feels like very cozy and warm or something. But I mean, 200,000, that's a lot. And I really just want to say thank you all for watching my videos, for subscribing and liking and leaving comments. I honestly wouldn't have been able to do any of this without all of you. So a really big thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope that we can be good friends for a long time to come. I will try my best to make good videos, and I hope that I can keep seeing you all in the comment section. Also, I quickly want to thank everyone who purchased one of my prints on Etsy. If you don't know, I opened an Etsy shop a couple of weeks ago with my own printable wall art that I made myself, and it's been so fun to see people ordering them and liking them, and I am very happy and very grateful for everyone who sent their support in the comments section or who purchased one of my prints. It means the world to me, and I just think it's so special, so really a big thank you. Alright, that's it. I'm guessing this video is already long enough, so thank you so much for being here, for being interested. Leave your thoughts, questions in the comment section. I can't wait to see you there. I'm happy to be back. I'm excited to be back again, and I really missed you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will see you all again soon. Bye bye.